Alright kids, once again we're in the back roads of the middle of no fucking where, going wherever the fuck we feel like it. Not really sure where we're gonna end up, but we're gonna end up there. So what do you got?
Well, a couple weeks ago, I'm not gonna name any names, but so for the sake of hearing people bitch, pardon me a minute. I'm helping a guy I work with put locating arms on a Jeep. He's prying on a stabilizer bar, well, a stabilizer shock on the front axle of this Jeep. Well, common sense would tell you not to pry on a stabilizer bar because it's gonna move, okay? Well, the service manager, he's on the phone standing next to this guy's toolbox, directly in front of it, right in the middle of his toolbox. He moves over to the, which would have been my left, but would have been his right, up against the trash can, just in the nick of time. The guy's pry bar slips and he falls straight on his back, smacks his head right up against his toolbox, and he starts crying. Oh my back, oh my head, oh my wrist, oh, and he's going on and on for like 30 seconds, and then finally the service manager looks down at him and says, "You might want to move, I just shit myself."
Nice. Fucking nice.
So he just springs up like nothing's fucking wrong with him, and then he's standing there. Oh my back, oh my head.
You'd think moaning like that would be sex.
Yeah. But funny as fucking hell. And my dad, he's over in his bay laughing his ass off, and I'm trying not to fucking laugh. The service manager is trying not to laugh. Doesn't move, doesn't even offer to help the guy up, nothing. I'm just standing there in all fucking awe, like, you stupid dumb motherfucker. Why the fuck were you prying on that in the first place? But I just left him go. Just left him go. And my dad, he starts, and louder and louder and louder. Hollers over to the service manager. He says, "Hey, oh my back, oh." So he calls our boss in his office, and he says, "Hey, you gotta come out here. He fell. So and so fell. I gotta go change and help Kyle put these locator arms on this fucking Jeep since he's too goddamn pussyfied to fucking do it." And he fell and hurt himself, and he's crying and carrying on, and oh my back, oh my head. And then he's standing there watching us do this, and finally he just turns, the service manager turns around and looks at him and says, "Go do something else before I fucking kill you. And then you won't have to worry about fucking bawling about any goddamn thing."
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And then for the past couple days now, this happened, I think it was last Tuesday or Wednesday. For the past couple days now, my dad has been going on and on with, and louder and louder. The more and more he does it, the louder and louder he gets. Finally, he heard him. The guy heard my dad, and he starts mumbling under his breath, "Fuck you, motherfucker! I'll come over there and give you a piece of my goddamn mind." And I just had enough. I said, "You know what?" I said, "Why don't you just fucking say it loud enough so my dad can fucking hear you, and that way he can put you out of your fucking misery with one fucking hand." and it wouldn't take much. So that's my story from a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and I think that all sounds about right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, you got anything?
Well, no, not really. But I will say this. You know, right before we started this little adventure, we were, you know, drinking some Captain Morgan, and I'm kind of fucked up.
Yeah.
So trying to think of any stories right now is a little bit difficult.
He asked out of the three of us, he said, which one of us is sober enough to drive? And I said, well, it looks like it's me.
Because I can't drive a stick, so it's up to him or we weren't going any goddamn way.
That's right. That's right. Yeah, right now we're on a road we've been on lots of times. Not exploring too far this time, but you know what the hell. We haven't done one of these since St. Patrick's Day, so fuck it.
Yeah, I don't think we've done a video on this road yet.
Not this exact one. Pretty close to here.
Yeah.
But, oh, I do got a story.
Oh, shit.
It's not a great story, but it's a story. And this just happened yesterday.
Oh.
You know, at my day job, you know, I work in the retail business. And, I happen to be helping out in the lawn and garden department. And it was right towards the end of the day. And these two people come up to me. It was a man and a woman. And they're asking me about a grill. Now, I don't usually work in that department, so I really didn't know what answer to give them. They're like, we want to know if that grill's got metal grates in it or porcelain. And I'm like, well, to be honest with you, I have no idea. So we get this thing down off the shelf and we just start tearing the fucking box open right there on the floor. We got parts everywhere, styrofoam all over the goddamn floor. There's cardboard all over the fucking place.
Nice.
And they're going on and on about how they didn't want one of the porcelain grates in it. I'm like, well, if it makes you feel any better, we do offer financing, and I'm giving them all the standard retail shtick. You know, all the shit that they make us do. Whatever. Yeah. And finally, they find where the grates are in this fucking box, and they're porcelain, and this guy's bitching and moaning and blah, 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 blah. And just to be a smart ass, because I'm getting sick of listening to this guy's bitching, I'm like, just wrap it in heavy duty foil, you'll be fine. He stops for a minute and thinks about it, and then they buy the fucking thing.
Oh my God.
So there you go. Aluminum foil is a great sales pitch.
Hey, if one of our friends can fix the TV with it.
That was the next story I was going to tell. Because I told you that story to tell you this story. We were talking about my neighbor in the last video. I got another story about him. He buys and sells junk. He's done this for years. You know, he's the one that got me into flea marketing and all that stuff. Well, he had this old TV that he bought one time. And it didn't work. And he couldn't figure out why it didn't work. So, being the Einstein that he is, he tore the back off of it. Which, you know, any sensible person probably wouldn't do that.
No.
But we're not dealing with a sensible person. And he finds an old tube fuse inside. And it's as black as coal. So, he's looking all through his boxes of random junk and shit and saying if he's got a spare tube fuse for this thing. And of course he doesn't.
Right.
So what does he do? Heads straight for the kitchen and grabs a ball of foil. And he balls it up, shoves it in the slot, plugs the fucker in, turns it on. Hey, what do you know? It works. So he puts the back on the TV and sells the fucker for 25 bucks. As is. Because you know, why the fuck not? Alright, we're about to head up the mountain now. Here we go, making a turn, heading up the mountain. There's a car. Holy shit, that's bright. Alright. I'm getting over a cold right now, so forgive me if I hack up a lung in the process of this video. But anyway, that's how he fixed that. Now, I don't remember if it was the same TV or if it was another one, but he had a bunch of them one time, and he had this one stacked up on top of another one that was up on top of a display. And he was rearranging shit. And he accidentally snagged the cord, pulled it off, and the thing went boom right on the floor. 20 minutes later, someone comes along after he picks it up and sits it back on the shelf and buys it.
This damn thing worked.
I don't know. I don't think he knew either. Nope, just picked it up, set it back on the shelf, and some old guy bought it. He tried this same shit with Christmas lights one year.
Oh my God.
I mean, he used to go all out decorating his house. He had Christmas lights around the roof, the front porch, the back porch. He used to like set up this like a train out in the yard that had the chase lights to make it look like the wheels were going. He had a big cross in the yard with chase lights on it. He set up a bunch of reindeer with spotlights on them. Different shit like that. And one year, you know, he's a cheap ass. What can you say? He had a set of lights around the front door of his house, and they didn't work.
Jeez.
Holy shit, there's a turn there.
Yeah, and holy shit, it's foggy.
And he had the lights around the door, and they wouldn't work. So he's popping the little fuse cover off and shoving balls of foil in there. And they're still not working. So he gets out a kitchen knife, and he starts cutting the plug off and trying to attach it further down the row till he gets it to work. I guess no one explained to him why there's 3 wires on a string of Christmas lights. Because one is the for one half of them, and one's for the other half. And if you mix them up, well, to make a long story short, here he set the plug on fire. So he ended up throwing him out anyway. So there was a trip to Walmart. And speaking of this guy and trips to Walmart,
Oh shit.
you know, when we were kids, we used to go everywhere with him because he was like our idol, me and my friend. It was his dad, but anyway, he needed a new light for inside the microwave, and we were going to Walmart to get one. And as we're walking across the Walmart parking lot, this place was fucking packed, mind you. And he has the light bulb for this thing, and he sticks it in his ear, and he's walking through the parking lot singing "This Little Light of Mine." And people are looking at him like, what the fuck is wrong with you? And of course, we just think it's hysterical, because, you know, we were like 8 years old, we didn't know any better. So we go into Walmart and look in the light bulb section, and of course he doesn't find one.
Oh my God.
So he decides to go check out the pants.
Oh.
You know, light bulbs and pants, you know, why the fuck not? So we go over to the clothes department, and he's checking out pants. And he's kind of a fat guy, so finding pants that fit in a Walmart store is a bit of a challenge. I should know from experience. But anyway, so he gets a pair of pants and takes it in one of the changing rooms. And it should be no surprise, you know, if, you know how this guy is based on my stories.
Yeah.
He's inside the changing room, and all you hear coming from in there's he's in there making noises like he's taking a shit.
Yep. Leave it to him.
Yep. He's in there grunting and grunting.
Is
Yeah.
that where you get that from?
Yes. That's where that comes from.
Your other dad.
Right. And so he ends up not buying these pants anyway. So then we head up to the checkout. He bought like a candy bar.
Oh my God.
And mind you, this was early in the morning. I forget where we were going that day besides Walmart. We were going somewhere. He bought a candy bar, and at the time it was like 64 cents, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he hands the girl at the counter a $100 bill. Just to be a dick. And of course, she's kind of looking at him like, really? You just did, really? You don't get, really? So yeah, there she is, counting back $90 and change, plus, you know. And, you know, we're just sitting there trying not to bust a nut because we think this is all hilarious.
Right.
Of course, little did I know, you know, almost 20 years later, I'd be working in that business, but whatever. You know, it is what it is. So yeah, there's a couple more stories about him. So,
that one I never heard.
Well, I never thought to tell it before, but that really happened.
Sticking a light bulb in his ear and singing, oh my God.
Yep, leave it to him.
His poor son, that poor bastard.
Yep.
Did you tell him the story about him doing the burnout on the dead rabbit?
Well, I might as well now. You know, this is all shit from when I was a kid, mind you. Like, none of this stuff is recent, because I've been kind of out of touch with this guy in recent years, and it's kind of a shame. But anyway, there's really not much more to the story than that, but we were coming home from somewhere one day, and there was a dead rabbit laying along the road. And just to give you an idea what a sick fuck this guy is, he pulls the truck up and gets the back wheel parked right on it and just romps on it and sends this thing flying through the air. And we're watching it in the rear view mirror, just hackling and cackling away because we think it's funny as hell. And since it's kind of a wet night tonight, this leads me to another story.
Oh shit.
Now, any of you animal lovers out there or members of PETA, if you're not already sending me hate mail, you're going to now. So if you don't want to hear more stories about things you shouldn't do to animals, go ahead and stop this video right now. But anyway, it was the day after it just rained like fuck. So we decide to hop in the truck, and he takes us out on the back roads. In fact, very close to where we are right now. In fact, maybe we'll even go there here in a little bit. But anyway,
Left?
When you get out to the end here, make a right and then head like you're going towards McVeigh Town. But anyway, back to the story. He takes us out for what he calls frog popping. Because for those of you that don't know anything about peep toads, after it rains, they like to come out on the asphalt and dry off. Mm-hmm. So we went out frog popping, and what that consists of is we just drive down the road and run over as many as possible. So we kept the tally, and I think we got up to like 48, something like that. So yeah, that was our frog popping adventure. And, you know, we used to do a lot of stuff. Like, sometimes he'd take us out spotlighting. And after we got bored looking for deer, we'd start driving through town and seeing how many street lights we could put out with the spotlight. Now, mind you, that's illegal as hell, but we did it. You know, he didn't care. Anything to get a cheap laugh out of us. That's what he was all about.
Hey, look at that. 249,000.
Well, holy shit.
009. Just under 900 miles shy of 250,000.
Well, fuck. All right. But yeah, we would drive through town after we were done spotlighting. And we just shine the spotlight up at the street light, because they're all on sensors. That's how they know whether it's day or night or cloudy or whatnot. And we'd just see how many we could put out with the spotlight. There was not a whole lot we didn't do back in those days.
Yeah.
You know.
When you can get away with doing stupid shit like that.
Exactly.
Now you so much as fart in public and people, and they're fucking
Yeah,
pissing on your...
people just get offended way too easy these days. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know what's gotten up everybody's ass in recent years, but, you know, the days when you could just, you know, have good old-fashioned fun, they're long gone.
Unless if you're us, then, you know, we don't give a shit.
Right, because this is YouTube and nobody gives a fuck unless you post copyrighted material.
Yep.
You know. Speaking of which, as of the posting of this video, we don't have a lot of followers right now, but in the future, if we do, this is kind of a message for whoever may be watching this who are fans of Mr. Weeble, you know, the guy that makes the crazy cartoons like Badgers, Narwhals, On the Moon, Magical Trevor, shit like that.
Yeah.
For April Fool's Day this year, he did a fake Let's Play video.
Oh, shit.
And it was actually good. And Weeble, this is a personal request from me, and I saw a few people in the comments of your video say this too. You need to make another channel on YouTube and do that legit. Because that was actually really entertaining. Like, if you did that shit legit, like, even if you just did it sarcastically, like you were doing in that video, that would be funny as hell. You need to do that, Weeble. That's just a personal request from me. And I know I'm nobody, but, you know, if you agree with me, if you saw Weeble's video and liked that, you know, like this video and leave a comment and let Weeble know that he needs to do more of that. Because, you know, that guy is, you know, like a comical genius. You know, he might be a little bit fucked up in the head, but that's what we like about you, Weeble. You know, we want more of that. You know, keep up your animations. You know, they get better and better every year. But do some more Let's Plays. I want to see that.
Whoa. It's bumpy here, folks.
Yeah, tell me about it.
Yeah, like we said in past videos, you know, we're here in the state of Pennsylvania, and, you know, the maintenance of their roads is not exactly spectacular.
Hell no. I don't know what... I'm originally from New Jersey. I was born there, but I was raised here in Pennsylvania. But I don't know what roads are worse, Pennsylvania roads or New Jersey roads. It's kind of... they're kind of about the same.
Yeah, I've never been to Jersey, but I'll take your word on that one. I will definitely take your word on that one. Here's a fun little factoid. You can't see it now because it's nighttime, but we are actually directly across the river from my house right now.
Yep.
And in the daytime, another few hundred yards down the road here, you could look across the river and see my house up on the hill. Like, I don't know if you can see those lights over there. One of them might actually be my house, because we kind of forgot to turn the lights off when we left. Over there somewhere is where I live, so we're actually not that far from my house this time. You know, usually we're out in the middle of no fucking where, somewhere like an hour away. Now, today we're in our own backyard, basically.
Yep. And we just passed a place where I basically grew up.
Yeah. There's an old farmhouse back that direction.
My Uncle Phil used to be the caretaker of the chicken plant here in Newton Hamilton. He used to take care of the house and the farm.
Speaking of chicken plants, you led me to another story.
Oh my God.
Oh shit.
Oh shit, I just hit a grouse.
Holy fuck.
That ain't good.
If that showed up on camera, I'm doing an instant replay of that. Because that, like, seriously scared the shit out of me.
Why? Because you're drunk?
Slightly. But anyway.
Keep on going or what?
Yeah, keep going.
It was a grouse.
What the hell was that?
They're
A bird.
A bird.
Oh.
But anyway, back to the chicken plant thing. It's amazing how we can do these segues into different stories and not even try.
Yeah.
But anyway, there's an old former chicken plant not far from here. Not the same one, but a different one. And for a while it was a concrete block place. I have no idea what the fuck it is now. But anyway, Speaking of my neighbor, he used to mow grass on the side just to make a few extra bucks, and he did a lot of different places. And when this place was a concrete block place, this old chicken plant, that was one of the places he did. And he used to drag us there because we were free labor. But anyway, I always got stuck with the absolute piece of shit mowers that he would own, while him and his son would use the good ones. And, you know, we were mowing the grass here one day, and the mower I was using kept, you know, taking a shit on me. So, I got tired of this shit in like a real fucking hurry. So I walked from there to my house and got my own damn mower. And pushed it the whole way back.
Oh my God.
Mind you, this is roughly a mile. Roughly. So I walked the whole way to my house and the whole way back, pushing a mower up a hill, then back down a hill, and then down the main road to this old chicken plant. And we finished the job. Well, anyway, to get back to the point of this story, a few months later, he ended up giving me the piece of shit lawnmower that I was using that day, because he got tired of it. This thing was an old Craftsman. There was like one engine mount busted clear off. The front wheel lifter was busted, and like he had it like bent in a certain way that it would stay on. And this thing only ran like at an idle.
Oh my God.
Well, anyway, so I did my best to try and make this thing usable. Mind you, I was maybe 11 or 12 at the time. Something like that. Maybe I was a little older, but that's beside the point. So I'm trying to fix this thing. And I figured out how to adjust the throttle. Sort of.
What was it, a Tecumseh?
Yes. And I got it to, instead of running at an idle, I got it to run wide open.
Nice.
I mean, balls to the wall, shake, rattle, and roll, wide open.
Cool.
And I ran it like this halfway around my yard. Then the dipstick tube broke loose and rocketed into the air.
Cool.
I never found it.
Never found it.
Never found it. To this day. My grandmother, being the mechanical genius she is, finds an old cork for me to hammer into the oil hole. That worked for about 1.5 seconds, and that shot into oblivion. So me and this friend of mine decide to dispose of this old piece of shit. And of course, being kids at the time, we didn't think twice about shit. We took it down in the woods along the railroad tracks and threw it down over a hill. Well, a few weeks later, we discovered we needed parts off of it for another piece of shit that we were working on, so we went and got it. And long after this was all said and done, I had another junk lawnmower that I needed to get rid of. And of course, my neighbor, being the smart ass he is, he's like, why don't you take it down along the field down there and throw it in the ditch? I'm like, shut up. So yeah, that was that story. Now, getting back to the frog popping thing, we are actually now in the exact area where we went that night. You can't really see much right now, but this is where we went to do that. Down around this turn here near the river. The river's over there. You can't see, well, there, GPS proves the river's right over there. But anyway. Sorry about that camera hiccup. But anyway, she had decided to come help me mow the neighbor's yard one day. And I left her use this mower that I had just fixed up not long before that. And she's down at the bottom of the yard mowing around this old shed. I forgot to tell her that there was an old drain pipe down in there. She hit that thing and just beat the absolute shit out of that thing. Bent the blade 90 degrees, bent the shaft almost 90 degrees.
Damn.
I mean, she annihilated that thing, and she's freaking out. Like, she's like losing her shit, and I'm just there like, whatever. It's like, the thing was a piece of shit, you know, I don't care. And she's losing her absolute shit. And I'm like, don't worry about it. You know, the thing was a piece of shit. Don't worry about it. But anyway, coming back around. This same neighbor that we were mowing for that day decided to give me this guy was in his 90s. He was really old. He couldn't do his own grass and stuff anymore. He gave me his lawnmower, and it was a nice one, but it didn't run right. And I determined that what it needed was a carburetor. Now, the engine that I had taken off of this other one that my other neighbor gave me, just for the hell of it, I buried it. In the dirt, like a foot deep, buried it. I don't know why I did that, but I did. But anyway, I got this other one, and I'm thinking, where am I going to get a carburetor for this thing at such short notice? And I'm thinking, oh yeah, I think I buried one over there at the edge of the yard about a year ago. So I dig it up, clean out the dirt from the carburetor and slap it on, and it still kind of worked. It didn't run much better, but it ran enough that I was able to take the thing and sell it. So yeah, I sold someone a mower that had a carburetor that was buried in the dirt for about a year. That totally happened.
You sneaky bastard, you.
Yeah, what do you want, you know?
What do you want for a hillbilly?
That's right. So, this segment's been kind of long, so we're going to call this one a segment, and we'll come back if we think of something else to say. Alright, we're back. And as luck would have it, we drove past one location where one of the crazy stories I told you happened. We're actually coming up on another location from one of the stories you just heard. This is the turn where the dead rabbit thing happened. In fact, right there by that left turn only sign, right there is where it happened. But anyway, I got one more story for you tonight. I want to say a few other things at the end of this video, but I got one more goofy story for this trip tonight. Getting back to my neighbor and his sick, twisted mind. I could do a whole series just about him, but whatever. Speaking of things that you shouldn't do with animals.
Huh.
Now, I don't know if this is something he came up with, or if this is something that goes way back to when the fuck ever that he heard somewhere and put his own twist on it, or whatever. But for those of you, if you're eating something right now, pause the video and finish eating what you're eating and let it settle, because you might lose your lunch after you hear this story.
Jesus.
Again, this is another thing that you shouldn't do with animals. And I don't know where he heard this or if he made it up or what it is. But anyway, one summer he told us this story. I don't know why he told us this story, but he told us this story. It's not so much a story as much as it's just a sick thing that he told us. But anyway, one day he asked us if we know what Spanky is. I'm gonna guess that 99.9% of you watching this video have no idea what that is. He's giggling over there because he knows where I'm going with this story. But I'm gonna tell this, and I'm gonna warn you right now, this is your last chance to stop watching this video because this is really sick. Anyway, this is what this guy told us when we were kids. Apparently, if you find a roadkill possum on a hot summer's day and you hang it on a clothesline in the hot sun and stick a cork up its ass and let it bake for a few days and remove the cork, the juice that comes out is spanky.
Oh, God.
That is a serious thing that he told us about when we were kids. I don't know if that's true or if he made that up, but that is a sick, disgusting thing that he told us. And that is just a weird thing that has stuck in my mind ever since. So that's the last story I've got tonight. If you enjoyed this, give us a like, leave a comment, subscribe. Be sure to check out our other series, Nate Fails At, where we play some favorite games of ours relatively badly. Make sure you check out A Moment with Nate's Grandma and see what my grandma's got to say. And be sure to check out some of our other crazy videos. There's more stuff at the bottom of my channel in the other stuff section and odds and ends. That's all of our old stuff, and we'll still make more of that stuff. So like I said, check it out, like, subscribe. That's it for this one. So here we go. We're headed back to the house.
Have a great night.
We're done.